a vital component to the Saul and David story that makes everything else make sense. Okay, what I'm looking to do is give you guys a perspective of who Saul was. This Saul spirit is a spirit that is embodied in people, and they take on these different characteristics. You know, I know many people say, oh, you know, well, we hear all of these different stories over and over again. You know, this same type of storyline was spoken to in another world spiritual system, and they called it the person by a different name and all this kind of stuff. So it must not be true. What you're saying must not be true. They must be copying what the original story conveyed. And now they're just retelling it. All of this is mythology. But I can disagree with that. I know in my walk, y'all, I have taken upon certain characteristics in my waking life. Just my battle spiritually and coming in and out of things that have fine-tuned me and prepped me and proven me worthy to come forth and speak to you about the things that I know, that have mimicked, that have looked like, taken on certain characteristics of what I could see David going through. What I see many of those in the Bible struggle with, I myself can relate because of certain struggles that I've had in my life. And if someone were to know the intricate details of my struggles, they would, and I wasn't anywhere around and they didn't know me, and it's 1,000 years later and someone's hearing my story, they would think my story is a mimicry of some other story you've heard. You would say, oh, they're just mimicking. That's a mimicry of the David story. Oh, that's a mimicry of, that story that they're saying of her is a mimicry of David and Saul. But my story is grounded in just as much truth and reality as the David and Saul story was. This leads you to the thought of who's really building these storylines. Even if the story is, even if the sequence of events in my life, y'all, hypothetically, because you got to add in every variable. Hypothetically, the sequence of events in my life that has led me through all the monumental highs and lows were all scripted by somebody. I'm even in amazement of the sequence of events that are pulling from the invisible to the visible. Nobody knows my story better than me. Nobody. There's no way a human being could script such a monumental thing. They would not be able to forecast out all the variables that I will pull from and act out in the maze that I've been in of my storyline or yours. There's not one of us, friend, wise enough. So who's doing what? These are really vital questions that we've got to really face. And in facing them, we get a bird's eye view of what we're dealing with. This story of Saul is a fundamental story of a spirit. It's a spirit that inhabits people when they reach a certain level of status. It's one of many. You got the spirit of Ahab. You got the spirit of Jezebel. You got the spirit of David. You got the spirit of Abraham. You got all of these very spirits of people that have ascended to heights. Moses, Solomon, Hezekiah. Depending upon the dynamic at play that they're presented with, the stimulus. These are the spirits that ride a person. There's many more that ride people when they ascend to certain levels of power, of certain levels of having the ability to inflict change in the world. Keep that in mind. So